Yep, yeah. What's going on, people? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. How's everybody doing today? All right, it's some stuff we need to talk about, so cut it off. Oh, man. First of all, again, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is Sports Plus Life. If you are a first-time listener, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. And any comments or concerns that you would want to have, go ahead and address them. Leave them under that comment box. You know, I love the debate. I love everybody's opinions because that's the one thing that currently we still have the right to have. Getting a little dicey, but still currently we do have our opinions. And today is Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. And we in the Richmond, VA. It's a nasty day out here in the Richmond, VA. Very rainy, very wet. But before we get started, this is really special for me. I have a special guest. And just like I had a special guest on Thursday, but today it's my very own Roman Xavier Towns, my son, my firstborn, my oldest. Come on, speak into the mic, dude. Say what's up.
What's up?
So how you doing today, big boy?
Good.
You doing good? All right. Well, son, allow your father to interview you. How old are you?
7.
You 7? Okay. And what school do you go to?
3 Chop Elementary School.
And what grade are you in?
2nd grade.
And what's your teacher's name?
Miss Espenson.
And how your grades doing?
Good.
You on the what? What did you make? Didn't I make?
Honor roll.
There you go. You made honor roll. So, what are some things that you like to do? What's your favorite things to do, buddy?
My favorite things is like to watch TV.
What else? Outside of watching TV, what else?
Playing football with you.
Oh, you heard that right. You heard that. Play football with his daddy. We go out and play basketball too. And boy got a J, just like his daddy. What else do you like to do? What's that shirt?
Mario.
Which is actually his favorite thing to do. This is what he was doing before we started this segment. My man's was playing what?
Super Mario Maker.
Hey, don't be nervous now, because trust me, there's a future for you on this microphone, buddy. Okay. All right.
All right.
So and how old is your sister?
3.
And what's her name? What's your sister's name?
London.
Okay, so we'll have London on another day because sometimes London can. That's my little patience tester. Okay. All right. So, you're doing good in school. His last report card was 2 A's, 2 B's, and a C. That's my boy making that honor roll. Making that honor roll. And I've actually had Roman have cameos on a couple of my tracks before, and on a couple of my songs before, and it's been real cool. But, he heard his mom on the show last time, so he said, "Daddy, can I record with you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" My special little boy. All right, love you, boy.
Love you too.
Okay. All right, buddy, you can go ahead and go play your game, all right? All right. Hold on. Before you do, I want you to say Sports Plus Life.
Sports Plus Life.
All right. High five. My man. All right, buddy. Love you.
Love you too.
I'm going to tell you, that little guy is absolutely everything to me. He is everything to me. Of course, so is my daughter. But When I tell you I love my kids, I'm crazy about my kids. You know, they're kids. They can just they're kids. You know, they can sometimes get on your nerves, but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's all about the kids. But anyway, like I said, there's a whole lot of stuff to get into. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay. My goodness. Has it been so what a 24 hours it has been. Definitely has been interesting. I'm going to start off by talking about the breaking story that happened yesterday with the owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft. He's being charged with misdemeanor. I think it's 2 counts of misdemeanor charges in regards to soliciting prostitutes in the city of Jupiter, Florida. Wow. 77-year-old owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft, is linked to a prostitution and possibly a sex trafficking, human trafficking organization. Now, of course, his representatives have come out and they have denied of any wrongdoing or any knowledge. You know, I wasn't there, so I can't sit there and say, you know, whether he's guilty or anything else like that. But I will say this. Apparently, this stuff happened this stuff was going on outside of a massage parlor in Florida. And it's already been reported that in that area, those massage parlors are pretty much just cover-ups for trafficking rings. And I mean, this has been on the Florida police's radar because they had a sting operation. They've arrested over 200 people, and they say more arrests are coming. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know, but one thing that I will not believe for 1 second, I won't believe for 1 second that Robert Kraft had absolutely no knowledge of what was going on in that place. You're talking about a multi-billionaire owner of the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. I do not believe for 1 second that he had no knowledge of what was going on in that place. I ain't boo-boo the damn fool, okay? Nah. You know, the mistake is he mistakenly got caught. Straight up. So which you know, it's going to be curious how this is going to be dealt with, because you don't know how deep this situation goes. Nobody knows how deep this situation goes. You don't know how long he has possibly been involved in something like that. And it's sad to say that human trafficking is big business, and it's disgusting, because you're talking about trafficking possible minors. You know, minors and possible, and you're in Florida, so possible immigrants. You know, it's crazy, and it's definitely a black eye for the NFL. But you know what I think the outcome of this is going to be, and it's unfortunate because I don't really think that you're going to find out how involved Robert Kraft may be with this situation. But when you got the juice, you can get cut loose. And one of the most corrupt things, I'm going to say it, one of the most corrupt things in the world is the United States judicial system. It is absolutely, absolutely corrupt. Because if you got money and if you the right skin tone, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because honestly, what I'm curious about is how this situation is going to get handled, because Robert Kraft is who he is. I mean, we don't know. He could have honestly nothing to do with it, or he could be the main finance person. We don't know. So I'm just curious. I'm just curious, are they going to come out with a Lifetime series about Robert Kraft the same way that they did about Robert Kelly? And I'll get into that a little bit later. But it's definitely going to be a black eye stain, a hit on the NFL. I wonder will this be handled in the manner that Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, when a couple of years ago he had a DUI. But not trying to be funny, this is way more serious than a DUI. You're talking about prostitution, trafficking. That's crazy. You never know. It just reminds me of a quote, and like I said, I could be dead wrong, but it just reminds me of a quote from Rush Hour 2. And it really does. It reminds me of a quote from Rush Hour 2, and like I said, I could be dead wrong. And that quote was, Carter School of Crimes, follow the rich white man. And whenever there's a major crime, there's always a rich white man waiting to get his cut. And like I said, I could be dead wrong, but that's what I thought of. That's what I thought about. It is definitely a serious situation. And I'm wondering, will Roger Goodell suspend him? Will they be fined? Will they lose any draft picks? Because no matter what, I mean, Robert Kraft doesn't have to necessarily be arrested, but just for this bad publicity, the NFL will take action. They have to take action. They have to take action because now you're talking about things that are making the Shield, quote unquote, look bad. And only thing that I know is the information that came out yesterday. And of course it dominated headlines right along with, like I said, it's a crazy 24 hours. First we had the thing with Jussie Smollett, and then Robert Kraft, and then the indictment of R. Kelly. And I've gone into my feelings about the whole R. Kelly thing as far as the docuseries. So it's just been crazy. So I don't know. You're definitely going to hear more things about this, moving forward. But call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever. I tend to think that Robert Kraft, other than taking bad publicity, I think Robert Kraft will be just fine because he got the money. He got the money to make something like this go away. And that's unfortunate because if he does play a major role in this trafficking organization where over 200 people have already been arrested, then he needs to be dealt with. He needs to be dealt with too. But, like I said, there's nothing more corrupt than the United States judicial system, because if you got the cash, then problems definitely tend to disappear. Definitely. And especially if you got the complexion for the connection. So I just thought that I would touch on that. Now, what I would like to do is get into some basketball. Excuse me. The NBA. I'll start with the NBA. There was a couple of good games. There's been a couple of good games over the past couple of nights since the last time I did a show. The Los Angeles Lakers played the Houston Rockets, and for the first, 2.5 quarters, the Lakers looked horrible. I mean, they really looked bad. They looked like trash, and they were down 19 to the Houston Rockets, and then all of a sudden, they came from behind and actually managed to win the game. Now, Houston was fussing about shady officiating by this one referee, Scott Foster. I guess it's believed that there is something personal. He has something personal against James Harden or the Houston Rockets. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, to be honest with you, James Harden actually fouled out the game. He did have 30 points, so that streak continues, but he fouled out the game, and 4 of his 6 fouls were offensive fouls. And I'm not trying to be funny, but oh freaking well, because James Harden gets away with so much stuff. That's why he's complaining about it, because he's so used to getting away with it. He gets away with these subtle little push-offs, and I'm sorry, I'm just not a James. Offensively, yes, he can put up numbers, but I'm not a James Harden fan. I'm just not. Okay, the way he plays the game, he plays the game to me like a punk. Okay, every time you touch him, he's flailing away, jumping into contact, trying to draw fouls, and I mean, I've seen like he's very offensive. He's very offensively gifted, and I guess you can say he's mastered the system as far as officiating is concerned. But I mean, I'm just not a fan of it. It's just he just looks for any ticky tack contact and makes it look like he's been run over by a truck. And so I don't feel one bit sorry for him. Houston kind of was crazy because Houston kind of, I guess they just lost their cool at the end of the game. They were down 4 points, and Chris Paul was called for a foul on Brandon Ingram, and I guess he thought it was a bad call. So he's arguing with Scott Foster. Now, mind you, it's a 4-point game with I want to say under a minute left, or maybe a little over a minute left, and he gets a technical, and then Mike D'Antoni, the coach, gets a technical, and then all of a sudden, you just gave the Lakers 4 points essentially because they made the 2 technical fouls. Brandon Ingram actually made his free throws, so that sent a 4-point game to an 8-point game, and the Lakers ended up winning by 5. This is awesome, dude. My boy just came in here with a picture because what's it called that you just got him? A magic pad that he just got, that his mom just got him. He got a magic pad, and he just drew his first picture, and it is awesome. Ain't that right?
Yeah, and that cat is trying to eat the fish.
Good job, dude. It's okay. You can draw another picture too once you wipe it off. But yeah, so that kind of, it was kind of odd to me because the Rockets just gave the Lakers 4 crucial points, turning a 2-possession game into a 3-possession game. But it was definitely a gut check win, maybe a win that the Lakers can use to springboard into possibly making a run. LeBron James had 29 points. I'm going to tell you, Brandon Ingram sometimes really pisses me off. I'm serious because Brandon Ingram on some nights, like on Thursday night, can just look like the truth. I mean, you just see all-star all written all over him. And then there are other nights it's just he just fades to black. I don't know. I mean, but the dude can play. What, he had 26 points, and Kyle Kuzma had 18 points. The main thing that I always hear from LeBron lovers is how LeBron never has help. This dude has 2 very good co-stars. If they're more consistent. Now, Kuzma has been way more consistent than Brandon Ingram. That's why Brandon Ingram pisses me off, because he has tools. He has the game where he can get the job done. But you look, Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma can do it. And Lonzo Ball when he gets back. This is the main reason why I did not want that trade for Anthony Davis to go through, because you look at you have your help. Sorry if they still need to develop more. And what I mean now, but he has to deal with it. LeBron has to deal with it anyway for the rest of the season. Excuse me, I'm parched. So, like I said, that was a great comeback victory for the Lakers. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Boston Celtics 98-97. And that was a damn good game, too. It was in Milwaukee. Nobody right now believes in the Milwaukee Bucks because you have to see it during playoff time. I'm going to tell you guys something. The Milwaukee Bucks are dangerous. The Milwaukee Bucks are dangerous because they're a young, up-and-coming team. They could very well turn into the Eastern Conference version of the Golden State Warriors. Not quite as good with shooting, but kind of the way that Steph, Clay, and Draymond were drafted and developed all in that organization. You got Giannis. Middleton came from the D League, and he's turned into an all-star. But you drafted Giannis. You were able to bring Middleton, who's a damn good piece. You drafted Brogdon. You brought in Bledsoe, good piece, and you have Brook Lopez as well. This is a dangerous team. Consensus would say Boston or Philadelphia, but Milwaukee is going to be a problem. They're battling with Toronto, and the Raptors beat the Spurs last night by 1 point. And the irony of that was that the Raptors were down 1. DeMar DeRozan had the ball guarded by Kawhi Leonard. The two players who were traded for each other during the last offseason. And Kawhi Leonard stole the ball and got a breakaway dunk to win the game. But point I was trying to make is, Milwaukee is really just fighting with the Raptors for the number 1 spot. And what's most important about that is that as of right now, whoever gets number 1 in the East, which right now Milwaukee has that, would have a home court advantage should they go to the NBA Finals. Now, I'm going to say this again, and I'm only doing this because I'm trying to stay interested, because I'm more interested in the Eastern Conference than the Western Conference, because like I said, Golden State's a lock. I just would like to see a team make it difficult for Golden State should they get to the finals. And I believe that Milwaukee would give Golden State some problems. Toronto has already beaten them twice. The consensus was Boston at the beginning of the season. That to me was the only team that I thought that could possibly take out the Warriors was the Celtics. And that still may be. But Toronto would give them problems. Milwaukee would give them problems. Philadelphia would give them problems. They would definitely give them problems. So it's getting really, really interesting in the Eastern Conference. It is. Oklahoma City beat Utah. Oklahoma City beat Utah in double overtime. Paul George. You talk about MVP candidates. The MVP for me would be Giannis right now because he's the best player on the best team. And he's really unstoppable. But Paul George, my goodness. Why couldn't the Lakers get him? Because Paul George scored 45 points last night, and he made the game-winning shot. He is just having a year. This is by far the best season in his career, and I would not be mad one bit if he was the league MVP. I don't see that happening. I don't see him winning the MVP over Giannis or even James Harden. But, man, this dude is doing his thing. Definitely. So, definitely more to come from the NBA. Let me see. Who is the Saturday night game going to be for the NBA, or if they even have one? Yeah, they have one. The Rockets and the Warriors. I hope Golden State kicks the shit out of them. Anyway. Now, I will move on to college basketball. And with the whole situation that happened with Zion Williamson, because everybody's having their opinion. Should he go pro? Should he just, should he pack it in and just sit out the rest of the season? Because what he has is a mild knee sprain. And me personally, realistically, I could see him coming back around the ACC tournament, which is in about 2 to 3 weeks, about 2.5 weeks. I could see him coming back then. But there are a lot of people that's saying, hey, sit it out. You've already proven that you're going to be the number 1 draft pick and blase. And I'm so conflicted on that. First of all, I've heard Max Kellerman's point of view. I've heard Charles Barkley's point of view. And I'm so conflicted. But let's hear what Charles Barkley had to say.
Well, let me say this. Number one, I hate the people, and I don't like using the word, I hate the people who are trying to talk about Nike. Yes, I'm on Nike's payroll. We don't have no problem with our shoes. We have had the best shoes ever. This was a fluke thing, or our shoes would do that all the time. You know, the rumor now is he's been playing the same pair of basketball shoes all year. You don't do that. I used to switch up every week. I know Shaq, we talked about it. I know Michael Jordan. They played the new shoes every game. I would play a week, and that was it. But I trust Nike shoes. That being said, when did we ever get to the point where all people care about is money? Shaq played college for 2 years. Three. Kenny played for 4. I played for 3. Michael Jordan played for 3. Tim Duncan played for 4. David Robinson played for 4. Some of the greatest players ever. Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson played. When we get to the point where you got clowns on television saying, oh, don't play. That's what you do, Ernie. That's what we do. We play basketball. I mean, I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. This kid looked like he's going to be a fantastic player. But I get so mad when people act like money's the only thing that matters in the world. Like, oh, dude, you're going to go in the NBA, don't play. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Ernie, I remember when I was getting ready to come out, you all remember my father. I wanted to come out my sophomore year. He said, why you want to come out? I said, I think it's time to go get the money. He said, you've been broke for 18 years, you could be broke for 19 years. You ain't ready.
I'm gonna tell you, that's some real talk. I definitely can appreciate what Barkley said as well as Shaq. But see, I'm so conflicted on it. This is why I'm conflicted on it, because on one hand, Charles Barkley is absolutely right. You know, that's what you do. You play basketball. You know, you play basketball. If you're healthy to play, you should play. That's what you signed up for. You don't want to leave your teammates out there, especially when you are the number 1 seed in the country and you're the favorite to win the national championship. And, you know, to be truthful, we already know that he's going to be one and done. So, you know, on one hand, I'm like, yo, go ahead and this is the only time that you're going to get a chance to do March Madness. I mean, I honestly think that if it's one thing that that Kevin Garnett and Kobe and LeBron probably wishes that they could have at least done is experience one NCAA tournament, you know, because it's, you know, that's a once, you know, that's something that once it's over, you know. But so I understand what Charles Barkley is saying as far as play. And what I've heard a lot of people say, particularly I heard this last night when I was on my way to the store listening to the radio, is one guy, you know, attacked Charles Barkley because he's saying, well, if you or Magic or Michael had the opportunities that, you know, these kids have now, you know, you would probably be one and done too. That may be true, but that's not how it was. That's not how it was for them back then. I mean, Magic only did 2 years, but he did win an NCAA championship. I'm pretty sure if Magic wanted to come out, I'm pretty sure that if Magic wanted to come out straight out of high school and jump to the NBA, he'd have been just fine. He would have been just fine. But that's not the way it was for those players back 30 years ago. So I don't see a need to attack them on it. They just, you know, want to see these players play. Now, another thing, now all of a sudden, the NBA is pretty much going to do away with the one and done as far as, well, the age limit to come to the NBA. So they're basically going to make it so that kids can come straight out of high school and go to the NBA. And like I said, I'm conflicted about this situation because honestly, I like the age limit. I wish that they would push it up another year to 20 to make a lot of these players do 2 years of college. And I only say that because of the quality of basketball once you get to the NBA. because it had gotten to a point in the early 2000s where so many kids were coming straight out of high school, jumping straight from high school to the NBA. Of course, you want to get paid, absolutely, but you were not ready. You know, your body honestly still hadn't matured to the point where you were ready to play in the NBA, and that lowered the level of play in the league. It was so many players that was coming out of high school, straight out of high school, going to the NBA, who ain't even playing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Guys who were going straight out of high school in 2003 and 2004 and 2005, guys who should legitimately still be about 32, 33 years old, but they're not even in the league. Because, you know, and not every McDonald's All-American high school player is ready for the NBA after their senior year of high school. They're just not everybody is Kevin Garnett or Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or even a Jermaine O'Neal. And the main reason why I say Jermaine O'Neal is because he was in the same draft class as Kobe Bryant, the 96 draft class. Only reason why I say him is because he did go to multiple All-Star games. But the truth of the matter is Jermaine O'Neal really didn't start to blow up as a player until his 4th or 5th year, which was the equivalency of him going to college.
What about the wiener?
But not everybody are those guys, you know. For every Kevin Garnett, Kobe, or LeBron, you've had a Kwame Brown.
You suck.
You've had too many Kwame Browns. And so, like I said, I'm conflicted because now let me say how I feel on the other side, on the other end. My issue, honestly, is the NCAA. Because let's call it what it is. When it comes to college basketball and to college football, it is a business. It is a billion-dollar business. And I don't blame these kids for wanting to get paid on the other hand either. I really don't. I really don't blame them for wanting to get paid. I think they should be paid from the NCAA. I mean, you got to think about it. That North Carolina versus Duke game that happened last Wednesday was the highest watched college basketball game in the history of ESPN. I mean, I already went over how the president was there, Barack. Ken Griffey Jr. was there. Spike Lee was there. It was the highest rated college basketball game in ESPN's history. And you know why? Because of the guy that got hurt 36 seconds into the game. And do you think, so but a bunch of people made money. The schools made money. The network made money. All of the people who do sports talk shows are making money off of it. But the players ain't making no money. The only people who's not getting paid are the laborers. And I do have a problem with that because we all know, particularly now within the last 10 years in the one and done era, that these kids aren't coming to school. These kids ain't coming to school to go to class. They're coming to school to get their brand up, be on national TV, hopefully play for a Hall of Fame caliber coach, and then they out the door. Now, like I said, that's why I'm conflicted, because a lot of these one and dones ain't ready. But on the other end, I ain't mad at them for wanting to get paid when you have universities and networks and shoe companies that are making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of what you do. You know what I mean? So it's like, honestly, I don't know where to stand on it, because like I said, I said this a couple of shows ago. What I would like to see is there be a professional league where these players can get paid, a professional league for players, I don't know, around age from 17 to 25. Kind of like a minor. I mean, I know they have the D League and the G League, but no. A professional league where these players coming out of high school can play professionally for a year, maybe two, get paid about $30,000 a year. I mean, hell, if you're not getting paid anything, you're getting paid $30,000. That's still more than what most Americans are going to make per year. And then come into the NBA with your game, finally tuned. Because that's my issue with having the players be able to come straight out of high school. You might find one, you know what I'm saying? You might find one, maybe two, that's going to be awesome. But the majority of the players ain't going to be ready. They're not going to be ready. So, I mean, if it was me and I was Zion Williamson, I mean, I'm not going to quit on my team. I'm going to enjoy that college experience of being March Madness. So, but the NCAA is pimping these players. They pimping these football and basketball players. And it's just no other way around it. They are bringing these kids, these quote-unquote student athletes, are bringing in millions and millions and millions of dollars to these universities, TV companies, and shoe companies. And the only people who's not seeing the work are the people that's actually doing the work, and that's just crazy. But go ahead and play, Zion. I mean, you already the number one pick, but go ahead and play. Hope your ass lose. I'm not a Duke fan. I'm a UVA fan. But, Charles Barkley said, this is what you do. You play basketball. That's what you do. So I just thought I would touch on that. So, college basketball scores. I believe North Carolina beat Florida State. That game was still going on. Duke is getting ready to play. They've just tipped off. They're playing Syracuse right now without Zion Williamson. UVA has won today. They had a come-from-behind win at Louisville, and Louisville is really just free-falling, but Louisville was ranked number 18. Again, UVA is 24-2. They're undefeated against everybody else but Duke. So let's see how that plans out. I don't know what the final result of Virginia Tech's game was. Oh, yeah, I got it. I'm sorry. I have to give some love to the VCU Rams. It's another, that's the local school here in Richmond between, as far as Division I, major, college sports, particularly in basketball, VCU and the University of Richmond. I got to give some love to the Rams. They are number one in the A-10. They're 21-6. They're on an 8-game winning streak. They look like that they've positioned themselves to be in the NCAA tournament. Go Rams. Because I'm going to tell you, there was no more fun time that I had in my life than when in 2011, the Shaka Smart and the Rams made the Final Four. That was a time to be in Richmond. But with that said, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer! Like I said earlier, it was quite a 24 hours. It's been quite a 24 hours for these celebrities out here. Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, this is crazy. I already went over the issue with Robert Kraft. So as, everybody was listening and finding out information about Robert Kraft, oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here watching this fight, James DeGale and Chris Eubank Jr., and Chris Eubank Jr. just literally picked up his opponent and threw him on the mat, and he's getting a point taken away. He deserved that. I'm saying that was just crazy. But anyway, back to what I was saying. While everybody was paying attention to, what was going on with the Robert Kraft situation, an indictment was put out for R. Kelly. And this is all stemming from, what they're saying is they are looking at all of his events from 1998 to 2010. And I've heard people say something about statute of limitations, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think this thing is way bigger than R. Kelly. But, what R. Kelly has done, what he's done is fucking gross. I mean, it is. It really is. Now the part that I'm sorry is intriguing to me. They are going all the way back and they're looking at the tape, the infamous sex tape, where he was with him and a 14-year-old girl. So they going back to the VHS tapes, where they referenced the girl's age several times. There was oral sex on both ends. There was anal, ouch. And then there was the urination part. Wow. And I believe that this happened in 1999. And this girl was 14, and that's who I feel bad for, because it's like she can't stop living that shit. That's who I really feel bad for. This, 14-year-old girl is about 33, 34 years old now, and she can't stop living this shit. And I'm not trying to laugh. But I've always just found humor, as far as the whole pissing thing goes. I guess I should stop, because Lord knows if somebody did that to my daughter, they got to go. Straight up. Like I said, I feel bad for her with the whole situation. And, this was sparked by, of course, the Lifetime docuseries. And it's just like, they had the indictment put on him yesterday. Today he's turned himself in. I don't know if you guys see, this is his mugshot picture. He looked like he's damn near smiling. He got on his best hoodie to be locked up in, and it's the same place, the same police station where Jussie Smollett's picture was taken. So the Chicago PD has just been busy, haven't they? They've just been busy. But his bail was, they were looking for a no bail hearing, and his bail was set for $1 million. He's probably out by now. I'm just being honest. Or if he's not out by now, he probably will be out by Monday. And I'm pretty sure he's going to have to surrender his passport, because they are going to make damn sure that R. Kelly go to jail. Straight up. And honestly, you brought it on yourself, dude. I'm a fan of your music. I love your music. I will continue to play your music. Okay, he's fucked up. He's a gross human being. He has issues. But don't sit here and tell me that I can't play his music. Don't judge me for playing his music. To that, I'll give everybody the middle fucking finger. I'm still going to play I Believe I Can Fly. I'm still going to play If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time. I'm still going to play Ignition and the remix and all of that other stuff. But, dude, you did it to yourself. My mans could have any woman that he wanted to, and his preference was young girls. That's just, the only part that I found, like I said, just that whole Lifetime document series was just a trip. And like I said, the one that I guess intrigued me the most, and I've went on about this, with other episodes, is the girl who said that they were watching I'm sorry, the Bulls and the Cavs game, and the girl said she liked LeBron James, and he said, no, we like the Bulls. And she said, well, no, I like LeBron James. And he slapped her and basically sent her to her room, and she ain't eat for 3 days. Like I said, any man who puts his hand on a woman is pussy. But this is just me, because I try to make I make something fun. I make something funny and light, and some people may find it inappropriate. This is just me, You know, like I said, Jordan, no fool. Jordan, no fool. We like Jordan, no fool. I had to. I'm sorry. But, I mean, I guess R. Kelly's going to come to justice. Now, like I said earlier, are we going to look into Robert Kraft the way we've looked into Robert Kelly? I seriously doubt it. You know, we don't know how long Robert Kraft has been involved in this, and we probably won't find out because he's the complexion with the connection. He's a billionaire, and R. Kelly has had a noted history of this. So honestly, I'm not trying to be funny, but R. Kelly's getting what he deserved. But Lord, R. Kelly, Jussie Smollett, Robert Kraft. Now we got Tristian Thompson being caught cheating on Khloe Kardashian. You know what? I'm not trying to be funny or fucked up. But what did you think was going to happen, Khloe Kardashian? What did you think was going to happen? You're surprised? You know, this is what, because if you remember correctly, Tristian Thompson left his other baby mother for her. He cheated on his other baby mother with Khloe Kardashian. So what did you think? You know, people trip me out. People fuck me up when they get into a relationship with somebody that, you know, has cheated on their past relationship with them. And people think, well, he or she will never do that to me. Man, please. You're playing yourself. You know, if you're in a relationship with a man or a woman who was in a previous relationship but was sleeping with you while they were in this previous relationship, you really think that they won't step outside on you? Come on, man. You're playing yourself. I'm not trying to be funny. And this isn't every single case, but in most cases, this is what that person does. You know, and it's fucked up, but it's true. So, I mean, Tristian Thompson, I mean, like I said, Khloe Kardashian, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, here's a guy who's, you know, he's paid, he has a large contract. You know, he's an athlete and he gets ass thrown at him on a regular basis just because he's a celebrity. Doesn't make him right. Doesn't make it right for him to do it. There's no excuse. But like I said, he cheated with you to get with you. So, I mean, come on now. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get on up out of here. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. It's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I look forward to getting back at y'all next week. My daughter's in the background crying, but it's going to be all good. I'm going to see what's up with her, but I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.